This next video is it's called Rockstar and Sony Think You're Stupid by
All right, we're
Drawn
going to
Out.
talk about GTA 6 and Sony in this video, because, yikes. So first, GTA 6 revealed just how much the game is going to be. It's $80 for the Light Edition and $100 for the Base Edition. And
It's
you
a
know,
lot.
with the Light Edition, there's cars, guns, clothes, garages, entire mod and tattoo shops, clothing stores, a whole gang compound that will assumingly have a ton of missions, and a very cool sounding classic car roundup mission are all not included.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're taking out so much. I do not like the idea of piecemealing games. I've always hated day one DLC, and I always will. Honestly, I don't like microtransactions at all in a game that costs money, personally. But
The
that maybe
$100
that's just
base
me.
edition is just the full game. All of that stuff only comes with the $100 edition. And I mean, at
Yeah,
least to me, that makes the $80 one just totally inferior.
absolutely worthless. That's the point. They're trying to make it seem like it's viable to sell games for $100 a pop. They're trying to normalize $100 games in the industry, not even $80 games. They're going up.
Like, why would you ever really bother with it? And I mean, Rockstar and Take-Two, they know this. They know how long everybody has been waiting. And they
Yep.
know if they
Yep.
lock some of the game behind a $20 price tag,
Reed for president. Hello. Hi. Yeah, we got to give it about 4 more years till I'm old enough to do
and
it.
call it
What's up?
premium, then everybody's pretty much going to do
What's
it.
going
But make no
on?
mistake, the $80 is the light edition and the $100 is the base edition. I
Yeah.
figured we could quickly
Yeah,
compare
that
how
that is true. We should stop calling it the Ultimate Edition because the $100 version is the base edition.
they've done this in the past. So for GTA 5, we had the $60 base edition, an $80 special edition, and a $150 collector edition, which makes you wonder when the collector edition is going to be announced for GTA.
Who will buy it? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Well, I guess if they did it that way, maybe not a lot of people, but I can tell you right now that already GTA 6 has made $4 billion in pre-orders.
6 probably after a whole bunch of pre-orders are already in and people have to just suck it up and buy another edition.
That's with a B, as in like barnacle. Yeah.
I guess all of the editions of GTA 5 got a pre-order bonus blimp, and for GTA 6 I guess you get some vintage Vice City apparel for pre-ordering, so kind of the same there. The $80 special,
Yeah, don't forget that there's also pre-order bonuses that come. So if you don't pre-order it, there's even more of a light version that you get with the base edition, as they are calling
edition
it.
for GTA 5 came with a steelbook, a map, stunt plane trials, and clothing and weapons. So the clothing and weapons have kind of been standard for a long time, and the stunt plane trials were even like in-game activities that you could do, but it's pretty light. The $150 collector's edition came more with physical merch, like the money bag and the hat, but also
Oh, and the map, the badass map, that was sick.
in-game there were more cars and garages, and I guess there was that special ability boost too.
Yeah.
And I think the point here is that they've always kind of done stuff like this. You know, a lot of companies do like pre-order bonuses and extra editions with more content in them. But for some reason, it feels even more egregious with GTA 6. I mean, when you go to the page that shows you all the...
Well, because they know that people are going to buy it. It's like the one game where you can activate the most scummy business practices and really just cash in on your goodwill that you have from your players, because literally everybody's going to buy it. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because I don't have a console, but also probably I wouldn't have bought it day one on PC anyway. The thing is, there's so many kids who are going to play this game. It's already been confirmed to have been watered down a ton. So it's basically made so that parents will buy it for their children. And yeah, this game's going to take off. It's going to make a lot of money. There should be a kids version. There is. It's called Wobbly Life.
stuff you get with the $100 edition. I mean, that shit just keeps...
My kid plays Wobbly Life all the time. I have a little kid, and she plays Wobbly Life. It's like kid GTA. You go around, you do jobs, you steal cars, but you can't, like, shoot people and stuff.
Keep scrolling. You're like, when does it end? And then you combine it with the fact that they're starting at $80 already, but everyone knows the $80 one kind of sucks, so the price tag really is $100 here. If you want the full GTA 6 experience, it's $100. So I think that combined combined with just how much stuff is locked behind the $100 edition, that's what people are feeling here. And I mean, they were doing the same thing with Red Dead 2. On launch, the editions went from 60, 80, and 100 this time. And the $80 one had story content locked behind it, a whole bank robbery mission. There was even a gang hideout locked behind it too. And I think even back...
If there are no DLCs, it's fine, I guess. Oh, there will be. Don't you worry. There will be, but it'll be tiny. There'll be tiny DLCs, and they'll cost a ton of money.
Then people kind of felt that this...
At this point, GTA is the thing it used to parody. True. So true, Harmony.
$60 one was the light edition, and we were already at, like, the $80 being the base. And this is just kind of a continuation of that. And it all comes back to FOMO.
Yep.
If you don't know, it's the fear of missing out. It's when you see everybody else experiencing something.
It's the most effective business practice.
And
also the most effective way to peer pressure your friends.
Want to experience it too. And it's the #1 moneymaker in gaming. GTA 6 is the ultimate FOMO product. Take-Two and Rockstar are taking full advantage of that. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it seems like it's going to be now. Now, something else that's very popular in the news right now are physical code and box editions, which is so funny because I just talked about this.
All right. Here, before we get into this whole thing, I gotta say this about physical editions, all right? The whole, we're not gonna have discs anymore. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's like, no, guys, that's not the problem. The problem is not the ability or the inability to buy physical discs. The problem is the ability for them to take away our access to the games we paid for. It's always been that. It's DRM and shit like that. That's why GOG is unironically the best website to buy games from, and second only to Steam. Like, Steam has a deal where if someone owns the game, then you can never take it away from them. Even if you take it off the store, they'll always be able to download it. That's what we need. It doesn't matter if you can buy the game physically or not. It matters if, like Sony did, where they just took 500 movies off of or something like that. You know, I'm totally spitballing the number. It could be somewhere between 300 to 500. I don't remember, but they took away a bunch of movies from the store. Now, if you did have them, you just can't even download them anymore. You can't play them. They're gone. That's what we need to get rid of. Video game licenses. We don't need to worry about physical. I don't care. I'm a computer gamer. I don't really buy physical copies anyway. I need protections for my digital purchases. Why is it that we give up our rights just because we bought something online and downloaded it? It's crazy.
With Bethesda and like I think last video maybe, which by the way was 2 weeks ago. Sorry about that. But on launch, all physical GTA copies will be code in box. The official reasoning is leaks. You know, they don't.
It's leaks, but also to fight scalpers. A bunch of scalpers bought like thousands of copies of the game, and then they just have a bunch of boxes with codes in them.
Wanted to get all leaked out and everything because that kind of stuff happens with games. It even happened with AC Shadows, and that wasn't even like a huge game or anything. And I want to be clear that no matter what you've seen online to this point, Take-Two or Rockstar have not confirmed a future disc release. True. Rumors exist for both sides of this.
Actually, they've definitely confirmed to not have a disc release, for sure.
But there's been no official stance whatsoever. Now, with
when did this come out? July 7th? Okay, so he might not have... Nope, this was yesterday. All right, yeah, they definitely said they're not making discs anymore.
All that said, there is a saying in gaming. No one hates their fans as much as Nintendo. Now, with that in mind, remember this ad?
Yeah. This is how you share your games on PS4.
An amazing ad. They were totally trolling on Xbox here.
Thanks.
PlayStation.
That was the official PlayStation used game instructional video. Real fast, it has over 20 million views and over 500,000 likes. That's really good for an ad. This was, of course, in response to Xbox One's DRM, and it greatly improved their PR going into the PS4 generation. And I bring up Nintendo because it's just one of the greatest self-owns online now. Like, Sony is really gunning for that #1 spot. Because on July 1st, Sony announced that physical disc production will end in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation.
That's such a red herring, you guys. I know I'm harping on this, but I've got to say it again. That is such a red herring. Nobody should be worried about the physical disc production. Basically, nobody buys physical copies of games, especially if you're a PC gamer. We need protections for our online purchases. If you buy a game online, you should own it. Period. End of story. You know, it shouldn't be a license to, oh, well, you bought a license to the movie and it's been 3 years and now we're going to take it off the marketplace so you can't watch it anymore. Nah, fuck that.
consoles.
Hell no. Hell
So
no.
what this means is that any new game they release after January 2028 will not get a physical release. Now, if you want to see how people respond to this type of thing, Insomniac made this tweet about Wolverine. It says, "Can you kick it? Yes, you."
I'm very much a physical disc collector, but I also don't play modern games really. So yeah. Well, I guess it depends on who you are. I just don't think that it's really the important conversation. You know, if you want to buy a collector's edition that comes with a physical disc, then that should probably be an option, sure. But you know, the whole debate of whether or not it's important to have physical copies, I think, is a red herring to the actual fact that we don't own the games we have. Because you could take a disc, you could pop it in your PlayStation 4 that's offline, and it could say requires firmware update. And then, so you can't play this game unless you turn it on to the internet, and now they have the ability to take it away from you. You know what I'm saying? The real question is who's buying shit anymore anyway? Just pirate this shit. I mean, alright, here, wait. For legal reasons, I will state this. I don't condone piracy. I don't. No, wait, hold on, wait. Let me do this real quick. Alright. For legal reasons, I don't condone piracy at all. But I will say that if, you know, as the saying goes, if buying isn't owning, then, piracy isn't stealing. I mean, that's just what they say. Obviously, I don't condone piracy at all, arg. But, you know.
You can. Seems like a Bob the Builder reference, I guess. I don't know. But someone responds saying it looks like a great game and asked if it will have a physical or code in a box edition. And Insomniac responded saying the physical version will
Not
include a
pirated in
disc
years.
in the box.
Amen.
This response got 51,000 likes. The initial tweet only has 15,000.
Well, World of Sea Battles I pirate all the time, you know. Yeah, I gotta hop back into that game soon. Then I pirate every day. Hell yeah.
Likes, and I guarantee a lot of that came from the people liking the response to the tweet. This is how much people actually kind of give a fuck about this. I also want to point out that Sony was kind of clowned on by some other companies. Like Domino's UK posted, as of April 1st, 2027, Domino's UK will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious pizza codes and using the power of imagination, enjoy them in an entirely virtual
digital
sense.
pizza.
This tweet has 500.
I mean, it's funny, but it's like, yeah, it's really not the same. I mean, I get it, but
likes. And I don't think we'll be seeing any Sony and Domino's partnership.
Really, what all this is doing, there's two things this does. It destroys the resale market so that games can stay $50 to $100 forever and never go down in price. So there's one thing that they're doing here. That's what makes physical copies worthwhile, even though nobody really buys them. So it destroys the resale market. And on top of that, it allows them to take away your game whenever they want. But they can do that already. So it also stops the actual, like, it takes out the middleman of, like, GameStop, you know, of actual salesmen. You don't have to, it takes out the cost of building the discs and shipping them and all that stuff. From a business viewpoint, I understand, yeah. With one copy, 10 players could play the game. Yeah, that's another thing. They want to sell a copy for each player that plays. They don't want anybody to be able to rebuy it ever.
Anytime soon. Proton
They definitely don't want anybody to rent it.
also got in on it. Now, what I thought was kind of funny.
Sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I'll go back 10 seconds or 5 seconds. The video game lobby tried to fight against the ability for Blockbuster to rent their games, and whenever they failed, they started telling people to make their video games extremely difficult at random points, so that if people did rent them, they couldn't buy them. This was during the period of The Lion King and Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. If you ever played those, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Play, resell, and so on, but again, $80 for a game. A single-player game is kind of a scam. Definitely a scam.
Knows partnership anytime.
There are free games that I've played that are better than, that are just as good. I mean, I don't know about better than GTA, but yeah.
Soon. Proton also got in on it. Now, what I thought was kind of funny was Bethesda. Bethesda made this tweet from the official Elder Scrolls Twitter account about finding physical treasures. And it was just an ad about how they're releasing a physical cartridge for Oblivion Remastered on Switch. which just doesn't hit the same when, isn't this you? They made this tweet about physical code-in box editions of Skyrim and Fallout 4 in April. That's 3 months ago. And now they're switching sides all of a sudden?
Yeah, but it's the hot thing to do right now.
My heart, Bethesda, go fuck yourselves. Now, I want to get to the point of why this is really a problem. Of course, preservation of media is very important, but something that's probably more important are the day-to-day costs of your life. And something physical media provides is another option. You don't have to go to the PlayStation Store to buy a game if you...
That is a big part of it. But I think this would come with the ownership. I think another thing that we need to be able to do is sell our games. So, like, if I buy something on Steam, I should be able to take the code and go, I no longer want this. I deactivate it, and then I sell it to somebody. I should be able to do that.
You can go on Amazon and get a 51% discount on that fucking game. This screenshot was taken yesterday, and so was this one. This one is from the PlayStation Store, where you can buy The Last of Us for $70, or you can get it for $34 on Amazon.
Again, this would come with digital protections that should be in place but aren't, because all of our politicians in all of our countries are old farts who don't understand even email, let alone video games.
And isn't this just the most backwards thing you've ever seen?
They've never written a tweet. It's always written for them by their staff type shit.
In your life. You can get the physical edition with a game box, maybe a book, but most importantly, a game disc. You can get this for half the fucking price of the digital only version directly from the person that fucking made it. Yeah. And this right here is...
By the way, if I was to rule the country as president, I would make a rule that said that you could only be a politician till you're 57 and a half years old. And at that point, you have to quit. 57 and a half is the number because I think it's funny to put a half in there. But, you know, somewhere around 60. I would just say 57 and a half as a joke to make fun of politicians. Because they deserve it. They're not serious people. Yep, and plus the option to resell. Yeah, we need the option to resell very much for video games.
Exactly why Sony is doing this. They hate that you can go on Amazon and get The Last of Us for $35.
They do.
Hate this. They want this gone as soon as possible. And so they saw GTA doing a code in box only, and they took that opportunity to just do it themselves too. Yeah. This example is not alone. Here's the...
GTA, like I've said before, is going to do irreparable damage to the AAA gaming market for the next, 5 years. Anything that they get away with here, every other gaming company is going to foolishly think they can get away with too. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Consider that good or bad, who cares? But yeah, that's where we're headed.
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, $29 on Amazon. Or you can get it for $50 on the PlayStation Store. The remastered version on Amazon is cheaper than the normal version on Sony.
Oh, no. Nobody will get away with it. That's what I'm saying, Ogram, is that I don't think anybody will get away with it. Maybe one or two other companies will. But whatever business practices GTA does here, you can bet your sweet ass that NBA 2K is going to do it. You can bet that the new Madden game is going to do it in FIFA. You can bet that the new Call of Duty will do it. All of these people, the Ubisoft games, they will start doing it. All of them.
Sony. How about God of War Ragnarok?
It'll be $80 for the light version and $100 for the base game from now on for all of those games for at least the next 3 to 5 years. Besides for the one that maybe come out this year or next year because they're following up GTA. After that, it's going to be normalized, just like the horse armor with Bethesda.
Get that for $32 on Amazon, or you can spend $70 on the PlayStation Store. Horizon Zero.
We can hope that, Algram, and I believe that. I think that we are finally winning as gamers. The fake gamer crowd doesn't really buy games, so we don't really have to worry about them. I think you're right. A lot less people will buy them. Call of Duty is almost dead. You're right. But, you know, the battle is not won yet, brother. We must still fight and not buy.
Zero Dawn Remastered, 41% off on Amazon, 0% off on the PlayStation Store. I mean, the examples go on forever. Here's Gran Turismo 7. It's 44% off on Amazon. Full $70 on PlayStation, of course. And there's really no other way to look at it. Physical copy.
The thing is, as well, I don't know if anybody noticed this about the fine print in the the PlayStation version of the pre-order for GTA, but it comes with a subscription to the game that if you decide to activate, auto renews. It's a free subscription for a month, but then it auto renews after that. So if you don't think to cancel it, you'll just be paying money after that. I've been a lifelong GTA fan, but yeah, I'm skipping them. Me too. I'll definitely be skipping them unless by the strange happenstance that the online mode comes out. It's just so good and not scummy, and doesn't cost a lot of money. Like if those things happen, then yeah, sure, I'll probably hop in and try it. But that's about it. You know, that'll be my only options. I'm definitely not playing the story mode, and I'm definitely not paying $80 or $100 for the game at all. I'll probably pay $30 for it at some point if it ever goes down to like $30. You know, probably try it out if it isn't complete ass. By then I'll know because it won't be on PC for like a year, so we'll be able to see. You know. To me, it's strange how a digital copy costs more. You skip GTA 6, I will be, yeah, wow. Until it's on Steam and sold for €5. Yeah, so in 10 years' time, fair enough.
Copies are always going to
Fair
be
enough.
better than no physical copies for the consumer. With physical, there's more retailers, which means they're less expensive.
I'm going to pay $80 and $100 for it. How about that? Hey, you know, to each their own. But also, god damn it, Shobi. Go against the grain just for the fun. Double scammed. You know what? I actually really love that kind of sentiment. That's actually exactly the kind of person I am too. So hell yeah.
There's an entire used market that, well,
Don't tell me not to buy it. I'm buying it twice. Fuck you.
maybe not as big as it used to be. It's certainly still probably pretty big. You can, of course, share games with your friends or, sell them to your friends, whatever you want to do with them. And then there's the preservation. And then, of course, with no physical copies, of course, it's only available directly from the manufacturer. There is no competition. There's obviously no used market. You can't have a used copy.
I will not pre-order it, I think. Yeah. If you don't pre-order it, though, you won't get the bonus, Algrim. You know? You won't get the pre-order bonus, dude.
Of a digital game. There is some friend sharing, but I would bet that Sony's doing whatever they can to squash that as soon as possible. And most importantly for Sony, there is the control. They get control over all of it. They get all of the money for it. Now let's pivot to a bit of a fun fact. In fiscal year 2025, Microsoft made about $281 billion. Not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Wow. Yeah, that's a little bit of money, I'd say.
Now the Xbox portion.
By the way, all right. So now that we're talking about this, I gotta say this. All right. This is happening in my home state where we just got a deal with the electric company where we're gonna pay them $3 billion in taxes over the next 5 years to build new power plants all over our state. 10 new power plants. All right. This is the same electric company that was just dumping toxic waste into our rivers and got caught after doing it for 10 years straight and got fined like $100,000 for it. It was crazy. And then on top of that, I looked at it, and last year, this same company made $5 billion in profit. In profit. So they could pay for these fucking things themselves, but they're not going to. We are. I don't know. I just, god damn it. I hate shit. I'm mad about that. I'm the sort of person that spends hundreds on free games, so we support all the things we support, just different philosophies. Yeah, fair enough. I never pre-order. I understand Warframe deserves all the money. But Platinum without any promotion is a huge scam. True.
Portion of that was about $23 billion.
There's fucking Amber in the game I play, fucking Gloria Victus, and it just, dude, it costs so much money. It's like $50 for a full set of armor skin. That sounds horrible what you just said. Oh, it's bullshit, dude. And we all said we don't want it, but our governor was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. It's like, yep, of course you are. You son of a bitch.
Dollars. Not bad, right?
There's also a town here that I'm doing this a lot. There's a town here that's almost got an AI data center, and all the townspeople got together in the city hall, told them no, we don't want this, and they voted for it anyway. And 1 week later, all of the council members were voted out, and now they're working on voting out the mayor. By the way, no active power plants anymore in Germany, the other extreme. Yeah. I mean, I don't want that, but like if you're making all the money already as the electric company, and to put it in perspective, my electric bill when I moved into this apartment I live in was like, you know, $20 to $60 depending on the heat and how much electricity I used and all that, and how cold it was, whatever. Now it's about $90 to $300 depending. It's an insane markup already, and that's before the tax increase. It's crazy. I could have bought premium GTA 2.5 times the amount I've spent on World of Sea Battles. Oh my god. Yeah, I bet. Oh shit. It costs like $20 to buy a Warframe that you can farm pretty easy, yeah. No, 3 times. I just did the math.
Now,
Oh,
the
geez.
Xbox portion of that was about $23 billion. Not bad, right? It's about 8% of Microsoft total. Now,
Harmony
Sony in
loves to
fiscal
be a
year
pirate.
2025
Yep.
made about $82
True.
billion. This is a hand-drawn chart, by the way. It may not look as accurate as it should. But the PlayStation brand accounted for about $31 billion.
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of pirates, to be honest. They kind of piss me off, dude, for real.
Dollars of that. And I'm just pointing all of this out to show that Microsoft is a much bigger company than Sony. This actually doesn't even really show how much bigger of a company Microsoft is, but this is how much money they make. And this also shows how dependent Sony is on PlayStation.
I love that. By the way, I'm very glad that I have a pirate hat just ready. Yeah, pirates are dirty.
PlayStation is like 36% of Sony's income, whereas Xbox is like 8% of Microsoft's income. Now, with this in mind, you would think Microsoft would just want to compete a little bit more, right? They just don't seem willing to.
Well, that makes you a oh fuck, what are they called? There's a word for that, right? A privateer.
Lose much money on Xbox. I just feel like Microsoft would come out soon and say like, hey, we're not going to end physical media. We're going to keep making discs.
Now, why would Microsoft do that whenever they've already been going to the whole cloud gaming thing and they've been doing the whole Xbox Game Pass shit? They're definitely not going to keep making physical copies as soon as it's not viable. They've already fired like 5,000 people in the past like 3 days. They're not going to do that. I wait for them to rob, and then I rob them when they're weak. That's a good kind of pirate action. Hunting your own kind is nice, apart from a guild faction.
But the reports don't seem to follow that. Everybody is seemingly saying the same thing, that Project Helix won't have a disk drive, and I just don't fucking get it.
I mean, it's pretty obvious why.
I really don't understand. A disk drive itself, it's not that expensive.
Look, if you don't make it illegal for a company to do something, then they will do something. That's the rule. That's why libertarianism never actually works, is because you can't just leave companies to their own devices. Otherwise, they start doing shit that they shouldn't be doing.
Right? We've been doing disk drives for a long fucking time. I just don't think it could be that expensive to add a disk drive to your console, like compared to the everything else, you know? But this whole fight over physical media, I mean, it could be something, a huge factor at least, that decides the next console generation. And it just doesn't seem like it would break the...
There's going to be no physical media in the next console generation. That's a fact.
Bank for Xbox to throw physical media a bone here. I just think
we'll be lucky to actually get the consoles. We might just get it streamed to your phone and to your TV and shit. Cloud gaming at that point. They don't want you to own a console. It costs $1,000 now to buy the Steam machine. You kidding me?
It would do wonders for their brand moving forward if they came out with a hard stance, a pro physical media. Maybe do an ad like Sony did. I mean, that would be funny, right? Asha, you have the opportunity to do something very funny, and we hope you take it. Because if you look at Sony recently, I mean, you have live service failures. They have their own layoffs going over there.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the Bungie fiasco.
Horrible.
They're raising PS5 prices over and over. They deleted like 500 movies that people paid for off PlayStation.
Okay, so I did not make up the number. It was 500.
PlayStation, fucking crazy. Just saying, like, just get fucked, basically. And of course, the ending first-party physical media thing.
Also, if you've ever had a problem with your account on PlayStation, they're impossible to work with. They will not help you get your shit back. They'll just say, oh, well, too bad.
I mean, there isn't, like, any good Sony PR I can think of in the last... when's the last time they did something good? I also want to mention the reason for console price increases. Like, obviously, everybody knows about the RAM and memory shortages. shortages.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of anything, by the way. There is plenty enough to go around.
Yeah, but PlayStation's cloud gaming is absolute garbage compared to every other cloud gaming on offer. I'm sorry. I know PlayStation's pretty cool for what they do, but their cloud gaming is ass compared to everybody else.
It's just
like literally.
a couple
I'm sorry.
companies that made contracts to buy it all. And we can only hope and pray that one day the law comes down on them hard. But I think a
That's
big
it.
reason for the
all you
console
can do.
prices is GTA 6. It will sell out consoles worldwide. The
Yep.
price was always going to increase no matter what. Maybe it wasn't supposed to get to $900 or whatever, but it was always going to go up. And I would honestly expect it to get worse as we get close to November. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. If you want to buy a mug, go to drawnoutstore.com. Sorry for not posting in 2
Yeah.
weeks. I was sick.
The
or whatever.
lag is impossible. I don't want to hear this guy talk about his problems. What the hell, you guys? That's crazy. Anyways, so I'm really sad right now. No. Yeah, that was a good video. It was by a guy named Drawn Out. Rockstar and Sony think you're stupid.